Okay. I'm a bit puzzled right now because previously when recording this, I managed to full screen the game by hitting Alt-Enter. And right now, for some reason, that isn't seeming to work. So my game is still windowed. That might require some context. So I originally downloaded, in order to record these videos, the latest patch published on the BioMedia Project, which they called patch 1.1.1. By the way, that's a false door. It appears that they planned on having you spawn there, and where you actually spawn at the beginning of this is an accident. Anyway, it's called v1.1.1. But many times I tried loading Tahu's level off the level select using that version of the game, using a fresh download of the original files from the BioMedia Project and a fresh download of the latest patch. So in order to play Tahu's level without it crashing upon loading, which I believe it's the opening cutscenes crashing, likely, because you noticed here there was no opening cutscene. I had to dig up an old version that I actually downloaded on my old computer, maybe more than 1 year ago, and its patch notes called it the v0.007. And of course, the v1.1.1 defaults to full screen when you start it. This one defaults to windowed. It's not as bad as the beta where the window was really small. This window is a little bit larger. And previously when recording this, I managed to full screen it, but for some reason I can't figure out how to do that right now. Well, what do I mean by previously when I was recording this? Well, I recorded about 50 minutes of Tahu's level, then figured out that my audio was muted, which isn't really that big a deal. Because who cares what silly things I have to say? But I decided to re-record anyway. In hopes that I would do it better the second time. Just take an opportunity to just do it better. That didn't appear to go anywhere. Beikama's hut tends to cause crashes, and Beikama has no dialogue. So that's the inside of his hut, but that's as far as I'm going to go with that. Sorry, I got all turned around and start coming back down. Nothing interesting up here in the alpha. It's the first guy who didn't lose something, he just wants the first of something. Or he lost it and just doesn't want to tell the truth. The other Matoran are not unique, they're all clone sets. Some of that dialogue seems to suggest that there once was an idea to make Kapura a protagonist of a game, or you actually play as Kapura in a game. Not sure about that. Like maybe early prototypes of the Quest of the Toa had Kapura as the person you played at. Again, that's just me speculating, I don't actually know anything. Just the way 2001 treats Kapura. Okay, in the beta, there's tokens back here that you need to collect in order to open the token door to get out of the village. However, I believe in the alpha there are no tokens back here. I don't know why they say more organized. They threw it too far. How is that an issue of organization? Don't be preachy. Again, I don't remember. Well, I don't know why I'm saying again. I lost the audio to my previous recording. I don't remember the name of that trope. Being kind of meta, they're calling out that trope. For which Minog 2 is like the poster child for it. Okay, I think I'm done with the village, I guess. If I miss tokens and I walk by them, you're like, oh, you missed that one! Well, you've had fun reacting. Okay, so you spawn from the door that you go out of to leave this area. That might have been a developing mistake. It makes it such that if you were to turn around and just turn around right after you spawned at the beginning of the level, you would progress into the next area, which is Tahu 1. Which can be sort of confusing if... I don't know, it's confusing. You don't think to go back out the way you came in. Forgot that I need to get this token. Oh, it's right on top of that. Okay, well, I'm gonna get it and die. far as doing it better the second time, I'm not really doing that. Again, there was a time where I'd randomly crash in this area. I forgot whether that happens in the alpha or the beta. You'd walk across a certain plane, and then it would just crash. There are no tokens over there like in the beta, so you just go. And you don't get greedy like I did. That was embarrassing. That was called expecting the ledge grabbing to work when it wouldn't. And again, and this area is a good demonstration of how the mirror was nerfed or made less powerful from the alpha to the beta. Yeah, and the alpha respawns you back here. So if you don't want to get all the tokens, it's convenient. You just go on to the next area. Also, I kind of like how the vents are red. I don't know why in the beta they decided to color them in the same color they were at Lego's level. It just gives less details. Or I mean, fewer details. talking with good grammar is hard. What's the phrase? I don't speak English good. Okay, I could die and I'll just respawn me in the place I want to be. Tokens, you get them, you get them. It doesn't matter if you die right after. Okay, so the solution to this involves going straight forward, taking a right at the T, and then taking a left at the next T. I'm going to mess around a little bit here, though, to make sure I get at least some tokens in some of the dead ends. So, say that this is north, this is east, this is west, and this is south. I'm going to start by going east. And now it banks and goes south. So now we are facing south. Okay. So if I turn right, I go west. One 1,000, two 1,000. So there's tokens in that edit. Gotta be careful here. So to explain what I was doing there, it seems like the fireballs, they tend to, after they hit the platform they come down on, there's like a lingering death. So if you don't wait long enough before you go, then you're gonna die, even though you missed the fireballs. So it's either the fireballs continue to descend down into the platforms, as if they're just not rendering correctly during the last few frames of their existence, or it's a mechanic, like the platform is supposed to be heated by them and now is hot and dangerous. Or some nonsense like that that's not clear. I thought that was the Miru. Okay, going east again. Again, this banks to the south. And now to go straight, we're going to go farther south. One 1,000, two 1,000. So that's the southmost end, and you can see there is nothing on it. Okay, let's go to the next dead end. Yeah, the background music here has a lot of ambulance noises in it. This is an interesting choice, a very direct approach to creating an eerie feeling. One 1,000, two 1,000. Oh, I goofed that up. So I was going south and I turned, and that would have taken me farther east, right? But then there was another T-junction there that would have gone north and south. So if it would have gone right, I would have gone farther south. Oftentimes you have questions like this on an IQ test. If you turn right, or turn 90 degrees to the right, then turn so many degrees to the left, and so on. If you're originally going south, which way are you going now? And if I had plenty of sleep, those questions would be extremely easy. Usually on a really well-designed IQ test, some of the questions you'll find extremely easy because they play to your brain's strengths, and some you'll find near impossible, but other people will find extremely easy. Extremely easy for me, part of that one of the things in that category is you start going in a direction, you make several turns. Which way are you going after the turns? Recalling a sequence that I'm supposed to memorize instantly, I found to be the most difficult part. Usually, like instantly recalling a sequence. 1,000 to 1,000. Okay, so that was another dead end. Of course, I knew it would be a dead end, I just didn't know if there would be any tokens over there, or anything of interest. Okay, so that was some very poor gameplay performance there, but we'll keep going. So now going for that north dead end, which I don't actually believe is a dead end. I believe that actually goes to the solution. So I'm going to actually intentionally die here, and go to a real dead end. Sorry about that. It's another way to go to the solution. There's two ways. This is like a grid situation. So now we're going west. now making a turn and going north. All the turns in this area are 90 degrees. Okay, so this is a dead end, but I'm going this way anyway, just to see, you know, what kind of dead end I got. Actually, I might need the mirror to get up on that platform, so... 1,000 to 1,000. Okay, there's a whole bunch of tokens over there, so... we're gonna go over there and get all those tokens. Looks a bit tricky getting up on that platform though, because it's uphill. So the common may not work very well. I am going via the hamburger patties instead of the T-junctions, because the T-junctions are more dangerous than the hamburger patties, given that you do the hamburger patties correctly, which I often do not. These are some very well done and very dried out hamburger patties. Okay. Token and then intentional death. So I believe I have all the tokens now, and I'll finally just go through this area and leave it behind forever. Because I'm pretty sure the Beaver House will not put this in rebuilt. This is not a very popular area. One 1,000 to 1,000. Use the mural for just this one jump because it's just a little longer than the rest. Okay. One 1,000 to 1,000. And then don't risk not using the mural. Okay, 1,000 to 1,000. Muro as much as I can. Up, but I got the energy, so I'll keep muroing. Take no risks. Okay, so first try. And I actually wanted to get through the area to the other side first try. That's great. A lot better than I did my previous recording session where I lost the audio. Okay. And this works in the alpha, surprisingly, because this is the sort of thing that wouldn't work in the alpha. But there's no cutscene. It just instantly cuts to you surfing. So you activate the Akaku and then you suddenly surf. Yeah, you can surf the wrong way for short distance. Kind of one or the other on those tokens. Okay, this is one of those things that works better in the alpha than in the beta. Cool. Oops, I thought the mirror was on. Just checking something. Oh, and how so much does this opening cutscene annoy me, and how every time you respawn you have to watch it all over again. Okay. Same thing as in the beta, but with 3 lives. And the balls do more damage, right? In the beta, each strike would be half a health increment. Here it's potentially all, like, 1 to all of your health increments. You have fewer health increments, 3 as opposed to 8. And the how doesn't work. This is how this area should be. Now this token is close to impossible, but like, well, I got it. Wasted a run for it. So that was 2 health increments. Okay, went narrow. Go down. Come back up. It sort of is a general rule. You wait for the stream of balls to get narrow before you jump. I don't know why it works, but it seems to work very well. So right now they're wide, highly spread, and they'll get narrower and narrower. And then you go when they get real narrow. So, narrow, narrow, now they're narrow. Okay, get that. Now, thankfully, in the alpha, the mirror was a whole lot more powerful, so this part's a lot easier. Sometimes. Okay, that was supposed to be a mini-boss of some sort, but the mechanics of it don't work correctly. So the only way to get through there is just to skip it by debugging through that door. So what just happened is, I just managed to beat the button challenge. That is, I believe, Tahu 6. And there were about half an hour of failed attempts. I plan on leaving all of the failed attempts in, because the failed attempts for that are part of the story. So I just finished that. I went on to the next area, which was a mini-boss. And then just skipped through there because the mechanics of the mini-boss do not work correctly. And then, for some reason, decided to backtrack in on kind of a reflex. And when I did so, I crashed the game. And I crashed the game in such a way that if I were to select load game, to reload, it just crashes again. So I'm in a crash loop with load game. So, well, I think I deserve the credit for managing to get through everything so far up to that point. So, I'm going to use the debug menu to restore my previous position. So, I'll start by giving myself the how. So we'll do the how, which doesn't do anything. I'm just doing it just to make sure it doesn't cause a glitch having to do with me not having enough stuff for the location I'm in. And then I don't think there's any abilities I have to worry about. No, that's correct. I don't want to do elemental powers yet. But for tokens, I believe I had 45. So I'm going to give myself 45 tokens about. Okay, that's good enough. And then I'm going to warp to, well, I'm not sure which one it is. I'm going to try Tahu 7. No, this is the one I just beat. So I'm not going to beat it again because it's a good challenge, but it's very challenging. I don't want even more failed attempts in my footage. I already beat it and recorded myself doing so. So the next one on this list is Tahu 8. Okay. So the mini-boss is not listed under the areas you can warp through. And that's somewhat of a problem because in that mini-boss, you pick up a glyph. Now, I don't want to give myself all of the glyphs, right? So I don't want to, that's the only thing the debug menu lets you do. So I'm just going to forgo that glyph for now. But I did record that there is in that mini-boss area, there is the glyph that's the upgrade to your energy sphere. So this is the area you go to after the mini-boss area, and this is just lava surfing. So let's do some surfing. Very awkward spawn onto the surfing. The board just comes out of nowhere. I got greedy for tokens. This is a common, like, art asset in 2001 BioMedia, and all the way up to 2003, of Tahu riding on a slab of solid rock, surfing on lava. But the physics of it are a bit dodgy because, unlike ice, solid rock sinks in lava, right? Because water is very unique in that its solid tends to be, depends on which crystal pattern, but it's usually less dense than the liquid. Very few, there isn't anything else like that. So this, a slab of rock would not float on lava. So you'd have to justify this by saying that he's skimming across the lava using surface tension of the lava. But it's not really like he's skimming on it, though. He's going at the same rate as the current. So you wouldn't think that the surface tension would hold him either. So that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Now, you as a human being don't understand this as rock or molten rock. So if a person were to try to, like, walk on lava, long mask, they could because they're less dense than the lava until they burnt up. So my camera is in a really bad place right here. Don't know how to fix that. You don't have an opportunity to get the mask queued up before you drop, like in the beta. You just surf right over the drop. Which they had to change in the beta because they had that rule, again, which they violate in Tahu's level, where every time you have to use a certain mask, there's a little plaque on the wall or on the floor that says you need to use that mask here. So you need a little plaque somewhere that if you had enough time to see, it says use the mirror. Don't get greedy for the energy. Okay, the camera is always bad, no matter how you spawn it. Okay. Maybe if it's not widescreen, it's better. What? Well, in this version, this part doesn't work. I don't know what else to say. I mean, this is supposed to start surfing. And it doesn't go. Okay, well anyway, I did the drop challenge, and there's a bug and it won't go, so you gotta move on by working. So this is Tahu 9, so we gotta go on to Tahu 10, which is where I believe you would surf into. Again, Tahu 6 is like, for some reason, not listed. Even though it's a legit area, it has that, it's a mini boss. Okay. Go. Oh, I lost all my tokens. That's great. I did a load that didn't restore my token count. Somewhere around 50. Maybe these fireballs are supposed to fall on you or something, I don't know. They don't. Okay, so I got to the bottom of Ta 9, and the surfboard wouldn't start surfing, so I just warped to Ta 10. I got to the end of Ta 10, and it was a crash on the spawn to the next area. So let's try loading. Okay, so I guess it crashed on the cutscene to the shrine, because if I load, it just loads right to the shrine. This works properly in the beta. Basically, Tahu backflips over those pillars. Given it's a lot shorter in the beta. Okay. Yeah, you're supposed to see Tahu surfing through all that, but like, Tahu doesn't render in the cutscene. So, let's review. So TO1 and TPO1, TPO2, and TPO3, we haven't done those yet, so we'll leave them. So you go from village, I believe it's the village. T-Ville is the road to the village with the platforms you jump on, right? It's like the drawbridge. It's not really a drawbridge, but you know, the bridge that goes up and down. F-Ville is the front end, so that's the front gate. Mosh is the Takara. Ta-01 has those small platforms with the falling balls and the bridges that destroy themselves as you walk across them. Ta-02 has the area you go through twice with the platforms that look intimidating but are not. You can cheat them with the Miru, and the platforms that disappear upon landing on them down in the lava, and that's where the lava board is. Ta-03 is the place with the vents. Ta-4 is the maze area with, you know, that rectangular grid to it, and there's again falling fireballs. Ta-5 is that fire shooting out of the eyes challenge that I struggled with so much. Ta-6 is for some reason not indexed, but it's the mini boss. Ta-7 is lava surfing. Ta-8 is more lava surfing. Ta-9 is the drop down, which is I had trouble with too, and I made not very clean, where the surfboard at the bottom doesn't work. Ta-10 is more lava surfing, and then we end up at the shrine. So that's interesting. Okay. So we have this door, that's closed. We can't go through. So with the shrine, you always assume that those doors are exits. So you go in a different way and come out there. This seems to be of no importance. This also we would assume is an exit. That's another exit. So this is where you go in the beta to get to the entrance to the shrine challenges. So let's go this way in the alpha also. Given it's really easy to do that in the alpha because the Miru is overpowered. Got some tokens to get, even though I reloaded and didn't reload my tokens. So I should have somewhere around 55, but I only have 10. Okay, this is the boss door. Here's the thing. Well. Let's go there. Okay, the initial spawning of these things is a little different than the beta. I'm not sure exactly how this will work, but... Ooh. It's gonna be brutal. Oh, it's glitchy! Oh, great. It doesn't reset properly. Well, Well, because the Miru is just so overpowered in the alpha, can I overcome that using the Miru? Not directly. Oh. Wow. That is punishing. Okay. Okay, how much can I cheese this using the mirror? Because I know, like, when the beta happened, I thought, well, I tried to cheese it with the Miro and it didn't work, but then Super Stupidity got to work, and so then I felt like, well, why did he get to work and I couldn't? Well, I can get it to work in the alpha. Oh, that's nice platforms. Are you on to me? Oh, he's got the Miru activated, so he's got to make the jumps longer, so it's hard. So it's just as hard. Okay. No, stop Miruing. There we go. Missed that token, but oh well. But I'm out of energy in the Miru, so... Maybe to save energy, I should just do the first part normal. This is where it gets all tall on me. Down. It's all tall. That tall one's a doozy. Come on, get up. So that's when you hit the Miru, is when you have to hit that. You have to do that tall one. Okay. Now this part doesn't function properly. I'll have to demonstrate how that is first. A lot of technical difficulties went into this, such that I actually don't have my sphere. I don't think I have to go through all the details, but I need the sphere to demonstrate this. All of these stalactites just fall, well, not all of them. The stalactites have a strong tendency to just fall all the way down. And I'll actually serve as platforms like this supposed to. Now, it is possible to get to the first platform. It's not impossible. You just have to get lucky with the placement of stalactites that just happen to function properly by chance, which may not happen every time you spawn into the area. For example, this time, well, one of them worked way down there. Oh, it's too late. If you get lucky, you can get through the first part, or the first set of stalactites. I have done that before. I lost the footage of that because I literally filled up my hard drive. As a consequence of how my GPU is encoding this gameplay. But sometimes that never happens, and so sometimes you just can't do it. So it depends on what you consider impassable necessarily. If part impassable implies full impassable, this will be okay with you. And if passable only on certain lucky circumstances that don't always happen, this will be okay with you. I'm going to have to skip this area. So. Sorry, struggling with the debug controls. And their inverted camera. I don't know if I actually have 61 tokens, or if that's the left, I just guessed on the tokens. And then that previous part was passable if you get lucky. This part is straight up impossible, I believe, in an absolute sense. Because it just does not function close to correctly enough that you can do it. And there's no checkpoint. So, in the beta there was a checkpoint. You could stop halfway through and then work on the second part, and here there is no such checkpoint. Now they're all falling through. What the speed you want? There we go. Okay, that was a crash, and it respawned me after the crash back in Ta 12. So in order to move on, I have to warp. So what comes after Ta 12? Well, Ta 13. So let's go to Ta 13. Okay. Now let's see if it retained me having the Vahi. It did. So the Vahi, as we know from the beta, is supposed to make these platforms go slower than they are going. But as you can see in the alpha, the Vahi does not work. So we'd have to try something else, like maybe, I don't know, Miru? I keep missing. Okay, gotta turn my mic on here. So, you notice that I managed to get this far by using the mirror. However, I'm out of energy to use the mirror with now. Right? Now, I don't believe it's possible to complete this area without having enough energy to use the mirror all the way through. So, I have two debug options I can do here. The first one is give myself more energy with the debug menu and continue to use the mirror. So that's like, in the beta you had more energy, so likewise here I should expect to also have more energy. However, in the beta you also had the Vahi. But you still needed that energy in order to use the Vahi for the amount of time you needed to use the Vahi. The second thing I could do is just skip through here. Now, the most noble thing is to give myself the energy and keep going. However, I'm apprehensive about doing that because that would mean that I have to succeed in that endeavor, which is a very, very difficult endeavor. But we'll try that first, see how far I get, and if I fail, I'll just skip through this like a lazy person. But I managed to get as far as, like, you could at least give me this. I managed to get as far as you can go without using the debug menu in this area as you can go. Right. So I have to use a cheat of some kind. So you could say if I have to use a cheat of some kind, why don't I use the worst cheat I got? Okay. Here I go. And I failed immediately. Okay. So I'm not good. I admit defeat. And in a very lazy way, have decided to take the lazy way out and claim impassability, which is actually true. It's impassable, but not for reasons of you can't finish the platforming, and skip to the next area. Okay, at the time, I was satisfied with using a debug that wasn't the lightest possible debug. However, I couldn't live with that. So, a day later, I decided to try again and succeed, this time doing it by giving myself more energy using the debug menu. So here is that. Okay, so I loaded game again after that crash, and it spawned me back to Ta 12. So we're just gonna warp again. So we explored Ta 13, and I was lazy and didn't do it maybe the best, but I tried. Let me try to rescue this. Let's try the second start position, which would be STR1. Nope, that didn't work. Well, in the beta, this is the area that's a maze, but for some reason the spawn isn't working in this particular version of the alpha. I can't get the most recent version of the alpha to load Tahu's level, and so there's no way at this time I had the facility to be able to explore this area. So let's go on to TPO2, because that's the next one, or TPO1, because that's the next area on this list. Okay, this is the mini boss. Okay, I've already been through here and recorded that. The only thing I hadn't done is get that token. So let's get the token. Sweet. This is the area where the upgrade to the energy ball glyph is. The mini boss itself doesn't work. So, TPO2. Okay, there's a plaque here with a bunch of writing on it. It's kind of hard to read the writing because, well, when you walk on the plaque, it gets destroyed. That reminds me, there is some writing on the wall of the entrance arch to Takoro. If I remember correctly, that writing says something like, "It is written that the Toa have come to bring peace," and there's another word, that other word's hard to make out. This one I believe is just like, watch your step, because you can slowly fall through this. Let me see here. Do I have it right side up? It looks like it. Have caution when... Okay, that Y is kind of... Oh, it's a W. When walking your FIR first step could be your last. Well, I've already made a step, so got past that. From above... Okay, can't tell quite what that letter is. That's probably W, will come falling CRA Crawling? That word's kind of messed up. YING up to your... Okay, so it looks like there's a lot of gibberish after the first part. Floor... Okay. You will be... K-E... Kept. Floor your ISO ice hopper. Anyway, there's no giant robot references, if anybody's wondering. So, obviously, you go out of here not by this, but by going up. So, let me Miru jump out. If that's even possible. Yep. Shielding glyph. Even though it says upgrade to the energy ball. Maybe it's the upgrade to the energy ball. Oh, that's the one I got. Oh, I have the upgrade to the energy ball and the shield. Okay. So you're supposed to go from Ta 12 to there, and then to Ta 13. I see. Taking another stab at Ta 13 just for fun. What makes this difficult is that when you're mirror jumping, you fall slower than the platform. So you lose your footing on the platform when you try to, like, unless you cancel the mirror in time. Because the platform falls out from underneath you. Okay, let's go to the next one, which is TP03. This is a very laggy mini-boss, that's for sure. Does it even work? No, the fighting mechanics don't seem to work. Okay. My encoding is probably bogging down crazy. When I rewatch this footage, it's probably going to be just absolutely horrible footage. There's a door that won't open. Okay, there's the third glyph. I presume this is supposed to open when you defeat the boss and get the glyph. Ah, Tahu 14 loaded. If you don't warp to it, but if you spawn into it, it works. Sweet. Okay. So only if you warp to it is the problem. So if I remember correctly, in the beta, the exit's in yellow. So let me try that. Okay, that goes to red. Okay, those don't go to red, it's just a red glow. Okay. So I just came out of master. We have blue and we have yellow. Okay. Okay, never mind, it truly does go to red. There's a closed loop. Those always give me trouble. This is red. Yep, it's in yellow. Okay. Crash! Okay, so I loaded the game again after that crash, and it spawned me back into Tahu 14, which crashed when I exited. I'm pretty sure because this is the alpha that it will consistently crash if I exit. So, more debugging. The very last thing is the boss, but we're going to go to the boss from the shrine. So we're going to go to the shrine. You can skip the cutscene with escape. Now, to open the boss door, I have to make sure I have everything. So, that would be all the elemental powers. Which you saw me pick up each one some point in this. All of the masks. Let's see which masks I don't have. Okay, I'm missing just the how, so I just need the how. Just managed to retain my Vahi over all these reloads. So I was technically using the same file as my last completion of Tahu 11. Okay. Shielding. Get me there. Ah. Ah. And enough tokens. I believe I got somewhere around 70 tokens over the course of that, and they didn't all get counted because I had to restart many times. So let's go up there. Okay. Then we go to the boss door, which you have to platform across this to get to. And it doesn't open. Let's see if that's just because of the tokens. Okay, you'd think by 176 it would open. So, the boss door does not open. Well, that's not supposed to happen. Okay. Queue it up and use it. And this is what happens when the Beaver House imports the model for the boss from the beta into the alpha. It's quite strange. So, one thing's for sure, it doesn't respawn correctly. Because it's not supposed to respawn to, like, before you use the glyph. So the stalactites falling works. but the boss isn't even in the area, so it's like there's no point. Okay. Well, this is where it ends. The way, for some reason, my GPU encodes the video when it's in this format is extremely file size intensive. So I had to edit out and post all of the failed attempts of everything in this level. This is also the last bit of LOM, Legend of Matanui, that I've recorded, because I've already recorded Makuta's level for the alpha, and I've already recorded the beta. The only thing left is Rebuilt. Now, the Beaver House, I'm pretty sure they still plan to do more with Rebuilt than they've done, so if I were to play it now, I would have, I'd have to do it again or something, right? Because it's not complete yet. I mean, it's complete in that it's completely playable from start to finish without the debug menu. But it's not complete except if they added everything they want to add. So I'll hold off on that. What else is there to say? I'll move on to other games, I guess. I won't say what those are yet. Actually, I will. The next one is supposed to be Meanol. Now, right when at the time of recording this, Meanol has just been taken down. However, it's still on the Wayback Machine. However, I don't know if, like when you can log into it and it saves the login information on the Wayback Machine. So it may not be playable right at the moment. The BioMedia Project is trying to get a hold of Takua and trying to get it on the BioMedia Project. And apparently he asked them about it at some point, and they didn't check their BZ Power DMs or whatever. So he has some interest in that happening. I don't know when that's going to happen. But anyway, I'm going to test out if there's a way to do Meanol right now using the archive and then go with that. Okay.